Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play of Fire Emblem Black Fang. Today I will be playing Chapter 8X, Brutal Vengeance. So at the end of the last chapter we defeated Marcus and we found the Fire Emblem Blazing Blade diary that Eliwood had made. And then Hector made an ultimatum to us that we all need to leave Lycia and never harm Lycians, otherwise he'll kill us all. So now we will see the events that follow. Chapter 8X, Brutal Vengeance. Anthony? You son of a bitch! I don't know who you are or what you want. Excuse me. You sneaky son of a bitch, you're working with Ostia. You cowardly shitsack, what did you betray us for? Chadwick nearly died. Jonas thinks it was me. Answer me, you lard farmer, you wyvern shitpole fondler. I'm sick of being a bad guy. All we've done since the Reed brothers died is hurt good people. We've been running away from these nobles because Chadwick is a villain bent on usurping the notoriety of the Black Fang. These nobles help people, like we used to do. You're full of shit. You were among the first to jump at the idea of rebuilding the Fangs. You only made your complaints in silence. You never spoke up for what you believed in. When Chadwick gave you orders, you performed as told. I bet you were thinking, I'm just following orders, I'm still a white knight. He's the bad guy. What do you know? You'd kill an infant for a payment. You didn't betray because you have a moral code and an iron will. You saw an opportunity to jump ship and move up in life. If you really had a problem with what we did, you could have quit at any point. But it wasn't about right or wrong, you just don't like to pretend it is. What rank did they make you? The only difference between you and me is my code isn't a cop-out. You're worse, in fact, because you blame others for your inadequacies. I'm better than a mercenary. I'm a knight, not a murdering whore. None of it was ever my fault. I wasn't like you. Draw your weapon. There's no one to blame for your shortcomings this time. You won't weasel out of it and claim cowardice that makes you just. So be it. I will prove to you that fate is partial to those who are just. Have at you. Die, villain. Die, coward. Everyone, stay back. This is my fight and my fight alone. I don't want to see any of you take a single step. Luke, what the hell is going on out there? Those two are battling to the death. Luke? Anthony? It seems that Anthony was the Ostian informant. Luke isn't taking it well. What should we do? I don't know. We can't have a traitor join rank after something like that. Does he really need to die, though? Maybe I should leave this to Luke. Luke, if you decide to stand down, come talk to me. Otherwise, break his neck. So the objective here is to kill Anthony or retreat. And as Chadwick just said, we could opt to retreat and not fight Anthony, and we could do that just by speaking to him. There's no real turn count, there's no enemies to fight other than Anthony. Now, firstly I want to say that I like the writing in this chapter and the lead up that is climaxing in this chapter, where it's contrasting the different beliefs of Chadwick and Luke and Anthony, and it really makes it a gray, like it's gray which morality is necessarily the best one. And obviously you can decide yourselves whether you think Luke or Chadwick or Anthony is more in the right when it comes to this discussion, and whether the actions of different members of the Black Fang were morally or ethically okay, given also the different situations they were in and the threats to their own lives. So I like that the author of the hack, HHS, who was also doing the writing when it was Decay of the Fangs, the earlier version of the hack, that included this chapter as well. So I like how he went and added this moral gray, because I typically find stories or writing that have some moral gray actually speak more to us and help us think more about the actual situations and about right and wrong. So I'll show the two different paths through this chapter just for so you can see what the different dialogue is. So I'll make a save state now. Some other things I want to start with is, since you have any amount of turns you want, there's a couple options. There's this fort here you can use to heal as much as you want, but Anthony is only on a plains tile, so he won't be able to heal, and he doesn't have any healing items. So it's always possible your Luke is strong enough that you could chip away at Anthony's health and then heal, and then chip away and then heal and repeat. Additionally to that, if you're too weak, even if you wanted to defeat Anthony story-wise, you have the option to talk to Chadwick and just give up, so you're never soft-locked if you unlock this chapter. But additionally, we can talk to some of the units on the map. So we can talk to this soldier here. Yeah, woo! You pay money at arenas and don't see fights like this. I believe we can actually talk to everyone on the map, including Anthony. So I will probably do some cuts so you don't need to be watching me walk around the map as much. But I'll show each conversation at least. Isn't that one of your men still fighting off a Fang? Not exactly. He's the informant that sold them out. He's to be honored as an Ostia knight, though he could very well be dead in a few seconds. I have no taste for such brutality. So much death these last few weeks. Hector, when will Uther's funeral be? This weekend his death will become public. A grand funeral will be held 2 days after. I will see you then, my friend. Be well. So if you speak to this cavalier, he says this. So you're the group this man came from. And if we are? Take him back. I'm sick and tired of his naive ideals and goody two-shoes attitude. Sorry, can't do that. But I'll happily take his life out of yours. That's probably for the best. Here, take this elixir. I snatched it from him when he wasn't looking. Okay, so now we have 3 elixirs. Okay, I'll speak with Jonas now. Luke, he's too strong. What are you saying? I mean, since he has joined the ranks of the Ostians, his strength has increased dramatically. He could be stronger than Nurgle for all I care. He's still dying by my hand. Don't be foolish. Use this. A hero crest? Where did you... I snatched it from Eliwood's throne room when no one was looking. Use it to bring out your latent strength. And now I will talk with Keegan. I knew it all along. He was affiliated with him. What? The squirrels. The bastard has been backing them from the very beginning. Keegan, I seriously don't think... Which is why I want you to have this. Take it. This is silver? How did you... Shh. While hunting, I stumbled upon one of their hollowed-out trees. In it, I found the ore necessary to forge this. Take it and strike down the traitor once and for all. Thank you. Thank you, Keegan. So the reason I was giving everyone else my elixirs was so I could have enough room in my inventory to drop one of these vulneraries or the chest key. I think I'm going to drop the chest key. Now I have a silver axe. So I have a silver axe, a hero crest, the killer axe. So that's another thing you can do. So you can prepare yourself by getting an elixir to make yourself able to heal better. Although of course you can just use the fort. You can get the silver axe and you can get the free hero crest, which is awesome. Whether you choose to promote Luke or not, because now you have a hero crest. I believe all of the generics say the same thing except this one that I already got an item from. I believe I can also speak to Hector, so let's do that. So here's what Hector has to say. You! Why are you not attacking me? Do you not wish to prevent more unnecessary bloodshed? Had that soldier been native to Ostia and not one of yours, I'd slaughter you on the spot. While I'm grateful he led us to you, he is still a traitor, which causes me mixed feelings. I will remain neutral. Do with him as you wish. So as you can see, I was actually wrong. I can't speak to Anthony, but of course, as a boss, he'll have a boss code. So I'll attack him with my killer axe, just so that we can maybe get this over with sooner. Of course, the animations are on. And this is what our stats look like when we stack up against each other. So let's see what happens. I am finally going to be a hero. I won't let scum like you hold me back anymore. Wow. That's so lucky. It's almost like a scripted cutscene, but I swear I did not. I just got that by luck. This isn't right. He's the bad guy. So that's one of the big reasons why I was trying to train up Luke, is so that he'd be strong enough to defeat Anthony without needing to scum going to the fort over and over and over. In prior playthroughs I have done that. I actually took Anthony out with an iron axe, I think, and just continuously went back to the fort, healed, and then fought him again. But I've learned that it pays to level up Luke earlier. Interestingly, the chapter isn't over, but I think as soon as I end turn it will be. Okay, so I'll show this cutscene first, and then I will go back to my earlier save state and show what happens if you do it differently. So first I'll save this. Luke, it's alright. He's right. I'm just a bad guy. You had every right to suspect me. Let's just drop it and move on. Yeah, I wonder if he had any valuables on him. An axe he didn't use? And what's this? A drawing? I drew this. Goodbye, Anthony. So we unlocked this axe. So I'll drop the vulnerary. Hector and Eliwood are going to pardon us? Pardon is a strong word. More like won't seek extradition, but get the hell out of Lycia. That's not the worst deal. Are we going to Ilia now? I'm not sure. I'd rather return to Bern and get our footing. With Ostia and Foray backing down, we don't really need William's troops for support. I'd also like to avoid Ilia if at all possible. Let's check in on the next headquarters next, on the old headquarters next. See if anyone was left behind. Then we can look into this Bern matter for Paul and Jackie while running errands. Sounds boring, but I guess we could use a break. I'm so glad we finally get to settle down. Oh, settle down! Shall we play house? Oh boy, I'm wandering off again. Me too. Where do you all go? I can't see shit on my right side. Guys? Over here. Come and let's get those bandages off you. Master William, Eliwood's diary. Oh, he did in fact have one. Well, it's not Eliwood's. Looks like it belonged to his tactician. I think this is playing off the fact that whenever you're in the chapter, or when you're in the chapter selection screen, you see like the writing pen on the book. So I think it's playing on the idea that as tactician in Blazing Blade, we actually recorded everything for all of the adventures of Elliewood, and that now William has his hands on the book we had written. At last, I'll finally get some insight into Nurgle's descent. It was quite a project getting the ball rolling on that man. What do you mean? Is a man born evil, Spez? No, sir, I don't believe the world is so base. I would mostly agree with you, but to my chagrin, the world is in fact filled with many evil men. I suppose that is so. How does a family man and brotherly scholar sink into darkness with a push? End part 1. Alright, so now I'll go back to this save state. And show what happens if you choose Mercy. Luke, I know how you are feeling. Anthony was one of our most trusted allies. But it's not right to kill him just because he disagreed with us about our choices. It's not that simple. He didn't stand up and disagree with us. He took the most underhanded way of eliminating us. I'm not asking for you to forgive him, and I'm not inviting him back into the Black Fangs, but this battle is over. I do agree with Luke on the Anthony never stood up for himself. Well, sometimes he would say he didn't like things, but he didn't really stand up to himself to any large degree or just leave openly. He left behind their backs and then informed on them, his prior comrades. So I can sympathize at least with Luke's standpoint insofar as that much. In honor of the things he did for us in the past, let's part ways. Let's go. As far as I'm concerned, Anthony is dead. Now, I believe this next cutscene is unchanged. Yeah, I'll assume that's unchanged. But you'll notice if we don't choose the path where we kill Anthony, we don't receive that special axe. So in my playthrough at least, we'll go with the canonical, what will be canonical for my playthrough. And proceed to get the axe. Now another thing I want to note here is you can see in this dialogue where we actually kill Anthony, Luke actually lies to Jonas about the situation. He's telling Jonas that he had every right to suspect him because I think Luke feels some regret for killing Anthony. Now I can't be sure if that's what HHS wanted the takeaway to be, but anyway, we can see that Luke is choosing to lie about the means by which Ostia was aware of them and was attacking them earlier in chapter, I think it was chapter 6. Because I didn't note that when we first went through this. So then, again, we get the Erdbrecher, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So it has only 10 uses, but it is a perf weapon, so it's perf to Luke. So we get this special weapon by killing Anthony, and we obviously get the experience as well. And by getting this chapter, we also gain the silver axe, the hero crest, and the elixir. And then we get the 2 back-to-back cutscenes. Oh, maybe we only see this cutscene as well if we play the chapter and choose to kill Anthony. That's interesting, because when I hit start earlier, I didn't see this again. So maybe this is semi-bonus as well. So yeah, that's the end of part 1. There's going to be a bit of a time skip before the first chapter of part 2. And let's see what the name of that chapter will be. Chapter 9, A Tale of Two Fangs. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this first part and are looking forward to seeing what happens in part 2 of the hack. I'll see you then. Bye.